like that. pjnet.tv. I messed up. We're running the buffer, folks. It's about 9:30 here on the East Coast, and every Thursday, it's time to take a little trip around the Cross W, and JD is standing by in our green room. Our buffer's running, we're recording and streaming, so count it down to Studio 33 Alpha. Hey, we're back. I was wondering what was wrong. I forgot to press a button, Hey, part 2. It was such a blessing to have Catherine Paceauer in the last segment share with us her reflections on the Advent season, the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and their contributions to it. And so it's just a great time. But it's not over. We're just getting started because it's time for part 2. J.D. Wininger, who is the caretaker of the Cross W Ranch in Cooper, Texas, is standing by. And J.D. was, the rancher's life involves some late nights sometime.
Hey, Coach, it does. That's for sure. Last night was one of those nights. Had a bid due with the client. It's due Monday, but you got to go through all the corporate reviews, and you got hobnob with the goober smoochers and get everything approved. So that means I'm about 3 days earlier than everyone else to get anything accomplished. So last night I'd missed the last 2 weeks of Awana. We had Thanksgiving week, and then had a little surgical issue and missed a week, and then I wanted to get back last week and had a plumbing problem here at the house, so I had to deal with that on Wednesday night. And so I didn't get to make the one last week. And this week was the Christmas store. So as the children in Awana, and Coach, you probably know this already, but as they adhere to Crazy Sock Night, or they wear their uniform, or they remember to bring their Bible, and as they learn the different memory verses and things, they earn points, and that point kind of gets converted into Awana bucks, kind of like a Monopoly money sort of a deal. And then we open a store for the last week before Christmas. The Awana store is called, and we have different merchandise, so books and games and baseball cards and teddy bears and whatever. Things for mommy and daddy, different plaques and tools and whatnot. And they use their Awana bucks to buy gifts for their family. Well, we had to do that in addition to the lesson planning and things. And one of our former guests here at PJ Net, Miss Connie Wolford, you may remember Miss Connie,
I do.
the log cabin sales lady up in Virginia. Well, Miss Connie shared some books, and one of them was Joy Comes to Bethlehem and El Peace the Donkey, which, their namesake lives here. But, we read that story with the children, so that ran late. I'm sorry I didn't get to participate live with PJ Net. Great program, but last evening. So I did that, and then when I finally got home, about 9:30, 9:45, I laid down until midnight, and I've been up working ever since. So I just got the approval, about 7:30 your time, Coach, that, executives have approved everything, and it's all set. No more changes are needed. So one last thing to do with them tomorrow. So I'm going, yes, Lord, I get to sleep tonight. So
there you go.
I'm excited about that. So we're going to take like 4 Advil PM and just maybe wake up by 7 tomorrow morning. So I'll sleep in really late. Yeah,
I was
that'll be nice, Coach. Yeah.
I pull those all-nighters too.
Yes, sir.
I have the luxury of not having to feed the cattle.
They will wake you up, Coach, between the donkeys and the cows. The cows all congregate at the gate, which is right outside the bedroom window, and they seem to know where I'm at in the house, because that's where they congregate. Of course, the donkeys start braying, and then the cows start booing, and I'm going, okay, folks, I'm coming. Just keep your pants on,
Yeah.
But, this week's blog coach is talking about my cows again, and as you'll notice in the picture, there's old Maverick the bull, proud papa himself. We've had two calves we weren't supposed to have, so he's doing his job quite well. And the little gal there in the forefront is Lulu Bell. That's my little clown face. She's the one with the white tears under both eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And she was 7 months pregnant, I guess, in that picture. But went out and I fed. And of course, after I feed, they kind of saunter around a little bit, and they may go eat some hay or some grass. And then they lay down and just ruminate for a few hours and take a nap, after a drink of water. But they just kind of saunter around. It's nice and easy, peaceful morning. So after I feed, I fill up the water troughs up in the front pasture, Coach. And I'm sitting there and the water's running. Of course, it's quiet because the hose is down inside the tank submerged. And just a wonderful, peaceful, calm morning. Bubba's kind of up under my arm as he does on the UTV there. And got his head in my lap, actually, on that morning. And I'm just watching. And, well, it's nothing strange, Coach, to see two cows licking one another's head because, you get bugs and mites and ticks and earwax and who knows what else, up around your ear. And as I commented, old Maverick, he can lick his own eyebrow. He's got a big old long tongue. But he can't wipe behind his ears, Coach. He can't get the taters out from behind his ears. Yeah. So he has to rely on one of his girls to help him out. Of course, he'll return the favor, and he's done so. But I was watching that, and it was just such a peaceful sight. And old Maverick, he's just lowing, just real softly, just enjoying it, just lost in the moment there with his growl. And I thought in my heart, just what manner of love is this, and it just kind of stuck with me and kind of got me thinking about that. And, I love my Miss Diane, Coach. I would die for her in a second. I wouldn't even think about it. And John 15:13, no greater love hath man than to lay down his life for a brother. And I can apply those things to my life, but Coach, that's that sacrificial love like Christ showed, but on a much smaller scale. I might do that for Diane. I might do that for one of the Awana kids, right? I'm whenever I'm at church, you can bank on me being armed. That's God made sheepdogs too. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason for that. Sadly, these days we find ourselves having to do that. But to watch these cows just sacrifice for one another and just humble themselves to clean off whatever is on the other one to make them more comfortable, Coach. That kind of hit me, and I'm going, boy, I don't have that kind of love, Lord. I want to. Lord, help me to love as unselfishly and as sacrificially as they do. But, when we humans think about love, Coach, it's normally a transaction, isn't it? I'll love you, Coach, if you love me back first, right? Or love me back. If you don't, then I don't want to have anything to do with you. And that's not the kind of love that God gives us and God teaches us and God created. And that's what I really wanted to focus on this week is, how do we show God's love to the world around us? Do we show it when we're complaining about the person taking too long and paying for change at the cash register in front of us, or they've got 12 items in the 10 items or less lane? Yeah. Do we show God's love when we do that? Or is a better way to show God's love when you see grandma behind you with 3 items and you got a whole basket full? So you pull out a line and say, please go ahead of me, mm-hmm. right? You've only got a few things. And what are some of the ways that we can do that? And, it's so important to remember what we're charged to do, right? God told us to love one another as he loved us, right? And I don't know that we necessarily always do that. I went back and I thought about little mama, Miss Teresa, my adopted mom. You know, she loved everybody, and she always tried to teach her children to greet everyone with a smile. Now, she'd always say, and I'm sorry I can't remember the verse she would quote, Coach, but you know, always be kind to everyone you meet, because you never know when you're hosting an angel,
Mm.
right? You know, so I always remember that interaction. But Mom, you know, taught me that everybody should start at 100%.
Hmm.
You know, we should give everybody the benefit of the doubt when we first meet them, and give them the opportunity to be worthy of that trust and things. A lot of times, Coach, in my life, I've said, you know, you started at 100%, but you're right now you're at about 62,
Hmm.
right, and losing, and people will fail you. And it's okay, Coach. That's part of the human conditions. I failed a lot and a lot of others in my life too. But when people let us down, when they fail us, living to the expectations that we have for them, uh, we don't we shouldn't shun them. We shouldn't put them down. We should love them all that much more, Coach. You know, and let them know it's okay. You know, I'm broken too. You know, and we all struggle with that. But they don't do that. Of course, the most recent example I know is a little lady at our church called Miss Mary,
Mm.
and I won't use her last name. Just a stay at home wife, retired, cares for her father in her home who has Alzheimer's. So she can't always make it to church every Sunday morning, but her husband, Glenn, they'll alternate. You know,
Oh,
one
okay.
week he'll make Sunday morning and she'll make Sunday night. The next week she'll make Sunday
Yeah.
morning and he'll make Sunday night. But it doesn't matter where you see Miss Mary, you can count on arms spreading out, a huge smile coming across her face, and you're fixing to get hugged. I mean, that
Hmm.
just is going to happen. And she just embraces you and just holds you tight. You know, there's not a better feeling in the world than a Miss Mary hug. But she always, it almost feels like she's standing up on her tippy toes because she's
Hmm.
a little gal anyway, you know. But she always just says, I love you in such a sweet way, Coach. You just melt, you know.
Mm.
You're going, oh my goodness. Now, why can't we just greet the world like that, Coach? You know,
It,
and instead we got to put up our shields and our
uh,
guards, and yeah, I know it. So I see that, Coach, and I think, man, am I falling short, you know? And so, and you've heard me use this phrase, Coach, a lot. You get what you give, right? You know, people
Mhm.
will say, "Gee, thanks, JD, for helping me with this or doing this or doing that," and my response has always been what Dad taught me. You you know, you get what you give, and if you put out good things, if you put out love and patience and kindness and mercy and peace. You know, you seek to make peace with people and things, and you seek to live peacefully and not fearfully. Then all those things are going to come back to you, Coach. That's been my experience anyway. But you know, if you, uh, it's like the sign Miss Diane gave me years and years ago. Says, you know, says some mornings I wake up grumpy. Other mornings I just let the bugger sleep. You know, and you know, if you go out and you kick the dog and you mumble as you're walking coffee and things, you know, and you're just all grumpy, well, guess what? The rest of your day is going to be like, right?
Mhm.
But if you wake up, you know, and say, good morning, God, rather than good God morning, you know, then you've got a much better start to your day. And, you know, it's what we put out there is what we're going to get back, Coach, more often than not, anyway, sir. So that's what I kind of wanted to remind people about this year, and just you know, don't forget, especially this time of the year, it's everywhere you turn, you hear and all these specials and sales and buy one get one and free shipping, And I mean, I bet I'm getting 300 emails a day on some great last minute Christmas deal and
Mm-hmm.
free shipping, but you
Mm-hmm.
got to act now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's become so commercialized that we forget why we celebrate Christmas, Coach. And with that holiday coming up close, I said it's a good time to remind each other this is, we're supposed to be Christian means Christ-like. So we're supposed to be showing Christ character in this world. That's how we, as Miss you and Miss Catherine talked. That's how you shine a light into this darkened world, Coach. Is be different. You can't be like the world and expect the world to see the difference in you, can you?
That's right. That's right. JD, I was moved. You said everybody starts out at 100%.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know what you said after that because it kind of sent me into, you got me thinking. Yeah.
Oh,
And,
sorry.
and I think that's a good philosophy. When you meet somebody, start giving, you called it giving them the benefit of the doubt. Well, at that point, whatever doubt there is of your own creation. You don't have any empirical
Yes, it is.
facts to act upon, so you start everybody at 100%, and I think that's a principle that is in keeping with the principles of the Bible. But I can give you another reason that even if you didn't believe in the Bible and didn't believe in God, there are still some psychodynamics. I say it this way: people will live up to or down to your expectations. If you're a leader,
I like that.
if you lower the expectations, guess what's going to happen? Their performance is going.
They'll
Well,
meet that.
yeah. You ante it up, they'll double down. But if you go in saying you're starting at 100%, what you're also doing is saying, I expect the most from you. I expect your best. And I'm going to start there. Now, where it goes from there, the ball's in their court, and you adapt and adjust and improvise accordingly. But we need to have better expectations. As Bible believing Christians, I think we should have God can say He can fix any mess. We're all a mess. We're all a mess.
Sure we are.
So I think it's if we fully have faith in God's word that He can bring life into anybody that wants it, well, then I think we need to be a part of
Coach,
that.
You brought up a good point, Coach. If you go in with those high expectations for someone, that 100%, if you will, and what I'm slowly learning over time, and I'd like to think it's wisdom, Coach. But truth is, it's just hard lessons learned. I may have those expectations for you when I hire you, or when I bring you on, or when I become your friend. And first meet you, I may have these high expectations for you. And I mentioned that what I've experienced in life, more times than not, people fail to live up to those expectations. Now, what makes us different as Christians, Coach, is we can let them fail and we can watch them escalate down to 80 and 69, 65, and get down to that 62% or worse. Or we can, when we start seeing that they're falling, or then we can lift that our hand and lift them up and help them achieve what we have set or expect them to be. And too many times we don't extend that hand of brotherly love to others. We're too busy competing. And I was just commenting to my friend Miss Kathy O'Neill. I don't know if she's been on PJ Net yet or not, but what a wonderful art lady this is. Such a creative, but just a wonderful little Bible teacher and friend. And she had commented on my blog this week And it just amazes me how God takes and brings people with different gifts all together. And it's when we come together that we become stronger. As those fibers
Hmm.
of spiritual fruit gets and talents get weaved together, we become an unbreakable bond, Coach. And that's what I see in the Christian writing community. I don't compete against Edie Melson or Ben Cooper or any of these other, Dale Didway and folks. We may write in some of the same genres and we may cross, but we lift each other up because we each bring a different perspective and a different set of talents and gifts to it. And it's when we come together that the Christian writing community itself becomes an unstoppable force for good as we work to promote the kingdom of God. And people don't think like that, is they think, oh no, I can't help old Mr. Ben because he might get the next book contract that I'm going after,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
He can't get my slot. And I'm going, no, man, this is God's table. There's plenty of room for everybody, but the difference is I want to help get you to the table, right?
Hmm.
And that's how we can be different. That's how we can be that light, as you and Miss Catherine spoke about. That's how we can shine that light in this world, Coach.
Well, I certainly want to get you to bed as soon as we can, but you brought up a couple
Okay.
things that I just can't
All
can't
right, buddy.
resist.
Well, bring it on.
You mentioned about the rope, the braids of the rope,
Yes.
and it is not their proximity to one another. Okay, you can have four ropes lined up like that, and they're
Yeah.
really no stronger. It's when you wrap them around each other. If you go look at your
Amen.
barbed wire fence, that wire is twisted along the way.
Yes.
And it is that binding together that multiplies. It's a what do they call a force multiplier?
Yes.
It changes the entire physics and the dynamics of the
Yeah.
tension, the tensile strength of the individual
Yes.
strands because now they're bound together. So, we've got to do more than just sit in a pew in church. We've got to wrap and intertwine our lives in such a way that it forms an unbreakable, a strong network that is strong. It's the
Absolutely, Coach.
the other thing that I seemed like I read in the comment that the picture of Maverick being taken care of by Lulu there, it's an act of humility that almost calls to memory Jesus washing the feet of his disciples.
Yeah.
Did I read that in the comments? Where did I get that, or
Yeah.
was it in the blog? I don't know.
No, sir. There was a comment about that exactly, and it is. It's a sign of when we sacrificially love, when we give up what might be comfortable to us, or we give up what we've earned and what we have to help another. That's a sacrificial act of love, Coach.
Right.
And in the same way, and it goes back to Christ's teaching anyway. And it says that I didn't come here to be served. I came here to serve.
Hmm.
And that's important. We're not put here to be waited on or be catered to. We're put here to help one another, Coach. And too often we just become far too selfish. We become too self-important, too self-edifying, too narcissistic. And it's got to be me, me, me. And no, it's got to be Lord, Lord, Lord. If I'm putting Him first, and I'm focusing on what He showed me through His life here on earth, how to be, then I'm going to be as John put it, I want to be the least, right?
Hmm.
I need to become less so that He can become more. And that's what we all need to do in our life as we surrender through this act of sanctification. We need to become less important in our own lives, Coach, and let God's leading in our lives become the most important thing that we do each day.
Yeah. And it doesn't work, JD, and we got to wrap it up soon because I know you're probably going to just fall over on the keyboard in a minute if we don't. But that has to be freely offered. It can't be out of a sense of entitlement on the hits of the one that we're offering it to. And when I find it difficult to do that kind of thing, what I try to do is say, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it in obedience to God. Okay, if I were just doing it for you, I might not do it because you're not worthy. Okay, but if we align ourselves with God's will and say we're doing this because we want to honor God and exalt His name and glorify Him, when you say thank you, say, well, I appreciate that. Acknowledge it, but don't take ownership of it because I didn't do it for you. I did it because Christ lives within me. And I'll end on a moment of levity. Have you seen the movie The Kid, Bruce Willis? Are you familiar with the movie I'm talking about?
No,
The Kid?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Coach, I'm
sorry. The opening scene in that movie, Bruce Willis is behind this lady at the cash register, and as you were describing earlier, she's just going and he's in a hurry, of course, and he just says, well, just add hers to mine, and she says, And so he, has that smirk on his face, and he pays for his, and the lady says, "Oh, sir, that was so nice of you to do that for me." And he said, in Bruce Willis style, "I didn't do it for you." He was in a hurry.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, but see, what you just gave was a great example, Coach, of what I was trying to impart a few minutes ago when I said, sometimes we act out of selfishness because we think we're going to get something out of it.
Right.
And in this case, he paid for her groceries, not because he wanted to exalt or honor God or shine a light. He did it because I'm in a hurry. I'm self-important.
Yeah.
Right. I've got places to be and people to do. Right.
I've contemplated that when I've had ice cream or something like that, and the person in front of me is like, "Here, let me just pick that up so my ice cream won't melt."
I've done the same thing, but here recently, Coach, and I'm talking in the last 6 months, I was in line at the checkout, and when you go to Walmart anymore, Coach, they have all these self-checkers that I refuse to use because why am I going to pay the same price and check my own self out and bag my own groceries? Doesn't make sense to me, Coach. That's somebody's job right there.
But you pump your own gas. But go ahead.
Another day, Coach.
Go ahead.
But I'm standing there and I reach around the cart and I knock something off. You know how they have those pop displays, point of purchase.
Yep.
So, you got to buy the candy bar or the chapstick or something, And I knocked something off, Coach. I don't know what it was. But a little Spanish-speaking lady behind me was closer to it than me, and she bent down, and she looked just like Carol Burnett. Remember the cleaning lady at the end of the Carol Burnett show?
Right.
Well, for the younger folks won't remember that. Looked just like her, and I just loved it. But she picked up and cleaned up my mess for me, Coach. And it was just picking stuff up, putting it back on the peg. But still, it was an act of kindness that she exhibited.
Mm-hmm.
So I leaned into the cashier. I put my ATM card in and pay for my groceries and things, and I leaned into her and asked her, I said, just take her a few things here and bring them up and let me pay for them, please. And I did that and didn't say anything to the lady. She's kind of, the little lady's kind of, well, why aren't you moving, old guy? And then, when it got done, I said, you have a blessed day in Spanish, and she just stood there just dumbfounded. How can somebody do that? All I did was repay a kind act with a kind act.
Yeah.
And shouldn't we be doing more of those things in this world, sir?
It wouldn't kill us, would it?
Not at all. Not
Not
at
at
all.
all.
It's like you said, pay for the next three guys in line at Starbucks or something.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to use a teller card to do that at
You
Starbucks
might
these
need a
days. But
mortgage. Yeah.
yes, sir. Anyway,
All right. Well,
Coach, thank
JD,
you so very much, buddy. Go take care of what you got to take care of. I'm going to go take care of a long
yeah.
night's
Go
sleep
get you a
here.
little rest, JD. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
And we'll see you
Thank
next
you,
time.
everyone. God bless.
God bless. Oh, it's always so great just chatting with JD here at pjnet.tv. He's one of our ministry partners here, and we appreciate him. He's a team player, folks. He's all heart. We love him. Well, I work here Monday through Thursday. I get Friday off because the Duke of Hazards, comes our way on Friday nights. Hey, I wasn't there last Friday because we got commandeered up in Thomasville, Georgia, at a Christmas festival, and I wasn't able to get back in time. But I make my plans to be here Friday night. We start about 9 o'clock. He does. He takes the controls, and we play a little retro music, some jazz, some old stuff, kind of let our hair down and relax a little bit. Then at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, he uncorks my perspective and comment. And folks, this is probably one of the more popular programs here on pjnet.tv. We are so blessed. We've got a team of incredible talent. We are just blessed. And it's not because they're on the payroll, folks. I mean, these people are giving of themselves. And I feel so blessed to be a part of this, and I appreciate Steve and Barbara and JD and Catherine. I hate starting that because if you don't, somebody gets left out, But I hope you'll make your plans to be here tomorrow night. I have actually got some work to do tonight. I didn't know that until about 30 minutes before we went on the air. I've been called to render some aid to a sister in Christ, and I can't wait to get together and let's take this problem and make it go away, and let's turn it into an opportunity for the kingdom of God. What a great group of people! What a team! What a family we have. As always, before I leave you. Before I leave you with two questions that are a challenge, and they have helped me in my life. I share them with you, well, to motivate you, but because it's helped me so much, I want to share it with you. What is the boldest thing you've ever done for Jesus Christ? It's a question you can ask and answer for yourself. You don't have to tell me or anybody else for that matter. And then, when you figure that out, ask the next question, which is, when was that? Well, whatever your answers are to those two questions, let's not be satisfied with them.